As most of you know, I don't usually talk about products from other people. I really just usually feel like I don't want to put my name behind something and then it doesn't work as advertised. But there's a company that I've bought a whole bunch of their spiritual technology over the years, and every piece of it I've had has had an effect. Some of them affect me more than others, but I just wanted to make people aware of this company. So it's called Modern Day Mystic. The owner is Peter Schneck. I met him about 10 years ago at an event in Fort Walton Beach. And I didn't buy anything that weekend, but my intuitive brain in the background was running all the time. Hey, listen, you need to go back and look at the product. You need to go back and look at the product. And the product that I was in particular interested in at the time was what he calls the FHA Mini. It's a pendant. It has a jump ring on it usually, so you can wear it as a necklace. This is the original version, so it's a little bit big. Sorry, I dropped it there. He has redone it since then, and I did buy the second version, which is much smaller. I don't wear mine as a necklace because I don't wear jewelry that much. I pin mine to the inside of my bra, or you can put it in your pocket. What it's supposed to do is help to harmonize your field, to help make everything just a little more calm, make your mental state run a little smoother, emotions a little smoother, make the environment around you run a little bit smoother. So like if you have friction with certain people or in certain work situations, it's supposed to help even that out. I have to say that I absolutely think that it does that. I did gift several of my friends one of these, and all of them came back to me with the same experience. So this is called the FHA Mini. It does not have a coating on it, so you have to keep it polished. So I do have a silver like polishing cloth that every night that I've worn it, I polish it up before I put it away for the night. You can keep it with you 24/7. I happen to take all my stuff off when I sleep, but that's just personal choice. It really does seem to work. And if you're not sure about his products in general, this is the one that I would start with because it's the most subtle in terms of it just evens everything out. It's not one of the technologies that's making you face like your deepest, darkest self kind of thing. It's just making everything run a little bit smoother. So I highly recommend it. When I got that, I then was drawn to what are called his I Am pyramids. And this one is the I Am Healthy. And he intuitively was given the symbols that he has on them. I have several of these. What you do is you place them in your house, preferably square against a wall, so that it affects the house the best. I've used them a little bit off-label, I guess you could say, and meditated with them. I've also placed them on my body when laying down. So like the I Am Healthy, when I've been sick, I've used it over the heart or whatever pain might be occurring in my body. These, again, compared to some of the tech I'm going to talk about in a minute, I think are powerful but more subtle. They're gentle. This is got a loving, healthy, happy, harmonious kind of energy on it. All the ones I have, when I've held them, I can feel the difference between the different ones, but they really are just creating for me a sense of stillness and completeness, and in bringing in that one harmony that they're meant for. So he has several different ones. I have the I Am Healthy and the I Am Source, and I highly recommend them if you need like a gentle shifting of what's going on in your place of work or your place of where you live. So these are great, but they're very gentle, at least for me, when I'm working with them. So after I'd had that for a while, I moved up a notch, and I had invested, because it was a bit more of an investment, into his harmonic field amplifiers for the car and the house. This is the house one, so it's kind of big. It's not meant to be traveled with. These are first generation ones. These flat out work. I don't necessarily feel them working per se. Like it's not like I have like a massive spiritual shift when I hold them. Just everything gets calm and even. I keep the house one close to the center of my home, as close as I can to the center of my home. My car one stays in the car all the time. I have literally watched things happen in front of me like they're in slow motion, and then it just moves off to the side. There is definitely a field of protection around my car. Of course, I do spiritual work outside of that, so maybe hard to differentiate what I've called in and what this tech is doing, but I've driven cars without this tech and it's not nearly as smooth a drive. A lot more stuff happens. There's a lot more road rage. I absolutely love that product. If you don't get one for your home, get one for your car. Now, he has a new version of both of these, and it's kind of distilled down into one, and it's called the FHA Traveler. I have not tried that product. It is supposed to do the same thing, but even more powerfully, and it's small now, so you can take it with you. These are large. You can't take them with you. The Traveler you can take to your hotel rooms. You can put it in your different cars easier. So I would check it out. Definitely harmonizes what's going on. It does as advertised. I don't know what else to say. It does as advertised. After I'd worked with the harmonics for a little bit, and then I was moving forward in my own spiritual path, I wanted something that would kind of kickstart me into a little bit higher level of spiritual tech. And again, his products, when I look at the website every once in a while, I only go with what speaks to me. You'll see lots of products on there I'm not talking about today. Really honor yourself. If what I'm talking about speaks to you, great. If simply mentioning the company speaks to you, go and look at what else he has. But at the time that I bought this, he doesn't make these anymore. This is his Terra Resonator Mini, and it had Moldavite and I think that's a hematite in the middle. And again, the symbols that he's been intuitively given for the sacred geometry of it. And what you were supposed to do is like put your food or your water on it, and you keep your attention on it for like 60 seconds about what you want it to do, what you want it to imbue that food or that water or that item with. And then it does that. And I will say this is effective, but this is probably the product I use the least. You can't really travel with it. And I do have some personal healing techniques that I found to be just as powerful. And so I probably use that product the least myself. Just about a year and a half ago, though, 2 years ago, I felt super called to invest in what he calls his FHA Orion. And this tech, I've got to tell you, was absolutely life-changing for me personally. I opened the box and my breath was taken away. I don't know how else to explain it. If when you see it, either here on this video or on his website, it doesn't speak to you, that's fine. Only get the tech that speaks to you. But for whatever reason, this tech resonates with me. I resonate with it. It is exactly what I need right now. My meditations, when I use it, like when I hold it in the palm of my hand for meditation, I can't even put words to it, and I don't actually want to distill it down to words because it's much bigger than that. For me, life-changing, life-expanding, mind-expanding. This is the most powerful piece of tech to that date when I got it that I had ever put in my hand from him. So if this tech talks to you, definitely invest in it. Then the next time I was called to look at his website, I was debating between what's called his FHA Palladian and his FHA Sirius. I felt called to get the Sirius, but I did not listen to myself. And I kind of went with like the reviews and some of the videos he'd made. And I tried the FHA Palladian, which is a gorgeous item, by the way, just beautiful. This is powerful, and it did not take my breath away personally the way the Orion did. It does not mean that's not going to do the same for you. Again, it just was the resonance that I was in. And at first, honestly, I was disappointed, and I thought, oh, okay, well, I finally have a piece of tech of his that isn't producing for me or isn't resonating with me, and that's unfortunate. No, that was untrue. It just wasn't obvious when I first looked at it. I began carrying it with me. I left it by my bed when I was sleeping. I got challenged. This, whatever this is bringing in, whatever lessons this is bringing in, whatever growth that this is bringing in, I had some spiritual challenges. I had a lot of walls that needed to be addressed and come down. I had a lot of information on a multidimensional level that needed to be perceived, and this has done that. I don't know what else to say about this. Do not take this on unless you're willing to do some work. That would be my advice. Know that if you bring this into your life and you ask these energies into your life, you are saying, hey, I am going to work on some serious stuff, and I am going to adjust myself accordingly. If you're in a place where you're still fighting yourself tremendously and you're not really willing to make adjustments or changes, this might not be the tech for you right now. Go with an FHA mini, get yourself harmonized, get things to be a little more subtle. Take this on, the Palladian on, when you are ready for some really, again, I don't like to distill things down to words, because when I give you words, your brain is going to filter them a certain way, and then it's going to have a certain expectation. This is incredible, but be careful when you take it on that you're ready and willing to do work. So I don't regret this purchase, but definitely at the time I was not in that mindset of receiving this particular information, so I had a bit of resistance, so I had to work through that. So still amazing. Recommend if it speaks to you, for sure. And then eventually I did, actually just recently, go back and get the FHA Sirius. That's kind of like the brother sister companion to the Orion. This is the best piece of tech I've ever gotten from him. I don't want to say it's the best piece of tech ever. For where I'm at in my life right now, this is exactly what I need. That's what I can say. This is a shifting tool. This is a portal. This is for those that understand your perception is not correct. That's all I'm going to say. He has a whole card that he sends you. Each of these stones that he's had put into it have their own mantra. Do the exercise as it says on the card, but this is going to speak to you, and this is going to tell you what to do, and you need to be in a place where you are ready and willing to listen. And these two together, I can't even. I meditate with one in each hand. Sometimes it feels like they have to be in the other hand. Sometimes they have to be this way. Life shifting, awareness shifting, consciousness shifting. These two pieces of tech, if you are wanting, and they speak to you, remember, only by what speaks to you. If Orion and Sirius are not calling your name, they're not the tech for you. Doesn't mean the tech doesn't work, means it is not the tech for you. But if these speak to you, make the investment. Buy one and then the other if you want. If I was going to start with one, I am glad I started with the Orion. I think if I had started with this, it would have been too much. And in some ways, the universe took care of me, because my getting the Palladian before I got this probably made it easier for me to accept what's going on with this. One of the also more recent pieces of tech I got from him was what he calls his FHA force generator. So the force generator is supposed to basically be bringing a spiritual vortex into your space, spiritual portal, more consistently. So the good thing about this is now when I meditate in different places other than my ideal. So my ideal is I have a spot just behind me where I teach my class on Sunday mornings. It's imbued with all kinds of information and light and harmony. And when I meditate there, it's tremendous, but I travel a lot, and sometimes the energies wherever I'm at are not so great. This really does seem to level that out. What I have done, again, this is a little bit off label, what I have done is tied this to the spiritual portal that I already have, asked it to be stronger here, but also for me to be able to sit in that energy, in that oneness place that I've created through my own work that resonates with me everywhere I go. I do carry this in my pocket fairly regularly, even when I'm not doing, quote, spiritual work. It does seem to keep me focusing back into the I am. It helps me pull back. So for those of you that are on the path, if you've gotten a chance to experience the actual I am moment and truthfulness, it's gorgeous. What I'm working on in my life is staying in that place more often and not coming back into lower awareness so easily. And this does help me do that. So cool piece of tech. I had so many other things I have been using though, and so much other work I've been doing. For me, this was just like a tool to help enrich everything I have. You may have a much deeper experience if this is the only tech that you have or the first tech that you have. My instinct is that this is okay for people who are just coming into a meditation path and not quite ready for some of the deeper truths to be met. This will create whatever portal you can handle. That's what it feels like to me, that this will create what you can handle. This will create what your access point can harmonize with right now. So I think it's a beautiful piece of tech. For me, it's been a more gentle one than, say, my Sirius and my Orion. Now then, the last piece of tech I'm going to show you, I didn't think anything about. I actually got it as part of a gift from a promotion that he was running, and I literally thought I was just getting a promotional tool, like a swag, right? So he developed this water bottle, which has his design and his symbol on one side, which he has intuitively kept working on, this being a channel opening design. And then his infinity I am source design that was given to him, the shading and everything is important. I didn't think anything about this bottle when it came in the box. I left it there for a little bit. I went to grab it. My experience with this bottle, even now when I have my hand on it, is it makes me want to be still. I know I sound crazy right now. When I put my hand on this bottle, I just want to be present. I don't know what else to tell you. He did create it so that it has a compartment you can carry like your tea or coffee, but inside the lid, he did his intuitive design of the golden ratio. And then on the top, he has a laser etched, can't quite see it in this light. It's like an atom design, but it's an energetic design that came off of one of his other products. If I had to distill everything on his website down to 2 products that every person should own, it would actually be the FHA Mini and this water bottle. Why? Because these are affordable investments. They are constant. This is meant to go with you all the time. This is meant for every sip of water or drink of your choice that you take. They're constant through your life. They're not needing you to set aside time to change your mind or to change your awareness. They're working through your life minute to minute, second by second. These are the 2 products out of his whole website. If you're just starting out and you're unsure what to do, these are the 2 products that I would recommend. This water bottle, I have to tell you, like, it's actually hard for me to put it down right now. I get a lot of intuitive information when I teach my Sunday class. And in my Sunday class, we have certain healing and programming techniques that we've learned that have been given to me. And they're very powerful. And most people in the class have the same experience, like across the board. I've taught it to different people at different times, and they have the same experience. And one of the ones that we do in particular is programming your water, cleaning it and then programming it. This doesn't require that you know the technique that I know. Do let the water sit in there for a few minutes. I'd say like fill it up and let it sit for 5 minutes, because the symbols, the energy, the technique, whatever needs to do its work. You don't have to do anything to your water, and this is going to help harmonize it and balance it, in my opinion. In my opinion, that's what this is going to do. If you add this to another technique that you have, which I have done, even better, even better. So I add what I already know how to do to clean and bless the water to the water that I put in this, and put it in this, and it is incredible, 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 incredible. I have not yet tried it. He has some users who recommend putting one of your other devices in the bottom to charge up the water a certain way. I haven't even messed with that yet. Again, if I had to distill it down, these are the 2 products that I would buy if you're brand new to it. After that, I would recommend the FHA Traveler, the new one that he just put out. For harmonizing your car, your work. Again, that's where you're spending so much of your time, your home, your work, your driving, right? That's where so much of your time is spent. That FHA traveler is going to be able to go with you. It's going to harmonize those fields. It's going to make it easier for you to do that inner work, easier for you to get through your life in a harmonious kind of way. Once you're ready for the next step past that, just look at the website and choose what speaks to you, whether it's the Force Generator, the Palladian, the Osiris, or the Orion, whatever it is. I'm sorry, Sirius. It's Sirius, not Osiris. The Sirius or the Orion, and go with what speaks to you. He has other tech on there. I can't speak to those because I haven't used them. But again, I rarely talk about product. These are some pretty incredible products. Go with your instinct, and that's all I can tell you. So good luck.